Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, it's only a chilly 53 degrees out there today, but we're going to have a high of 79, which will be very nice. And I have to take Mom to the bank today. They're having a picnic, and she loves her banker. He's a very nice man. We've been banking with him for forever. So, in fact, my son used to work with him when my son worked in the bank. So we have a long history, and he'll bring my mom little birthday gifts, and he'll bring her a big, huge poinsettia at Christmas time. So he's a very, very nice man. But anyway, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to go celebrate Labor Day. It's their Labor Day picnic. Even though Labor Day is done already, you can celebrate anytime. Every day should be a celebration. Cheers. I'm looking forward to that coffee this morning. So I won't get much done today. I still have some produce from the garden that I have to do something with. I'm thinking about cutting up the tomatoes, most of them, saving a couple, and just cooking them in the slow cooker all day, and then maybe freezing them. I don't know, we'll see. I don't really have time to do much of anything else with Mom, and then my daughter had the problem with the car, but she has a new car now, so glad that's done with. So anyway, always something to do, and I'm trying to get my dining room straightened back up, but I do have to get out in the garden, and I think this week and next week should be nice for working out there. And then I have to do some cleanup big time in my garage, and I want to do that before it starts getting too cold. I'd like to do that when it's still in the 60s anyway. So that's my plan, and hopefully the weather cooperates and we don't have a terribly cold and rainy fall. Even though fall, I think this is called a false fall or a fake fall, something like that, where you have a super hot summer and then all of a sudden fall is here. But you never know, this could be it. And the leaves are already starting to turn a little bit on some of the trees, I noticed, here in northern Ohio. So anyway, I'm going to go drink my coffee and gather my thoughts, see what I want to do, because I have to be at my mom's around noonish, and then we'll go and celebrate at the bank. So, all right, I will be back in a little bit. Well, I'm on my way to my mom's house, and I paid off some bills this morning, so I'm well on my way to becoming debt-free again, hopefully hopefully before Christmas. I'm still trying to save some money up for Christmas too, but right now my main focus is getting my tires paid for. Everything else is paid off. So, and I'm trying to not run up my Amazon bill, keep it no more than $100 so that I can pay that off every month, because when you're buying a lot of things on Amazon, it really adds up quickly. So I'm trying not to do that because excuse me, my life is so much easier when I'm debt-free. And last year I was debt-free, but then I needed to get tires, and I had bought some things on Amazon, and I became not debt-free. So I'm still working on that and trying not to overbuy on food and other household essentials. So since I just got my check, I'm buying my groceries and food now at the beginning of the month, but I'm trying to keep that around $100 too, and not much more than that. And I'm doing that by just buying things that I use all the time, just replacing them as I use them, because I'm still trying to cook down my freezer. But lately I've been putting garden produce in there because I can't eat all that. And I want to use it for cooking, like the peppers and some of the squash will be great for soups this fall and this winter. So I'm trying to not spend a whole lot on my meals, but still make them nutritious and delicious. And also going out with friends for breakfast and lunch. That's always nice. So the money that I save by not, buying expensive food, I can use for that. And then, of course, I usually end up taking half my meal home because I really am not a big eater. I eat plenty, but I'm not real super active in as far as exercising and things like that. So I don't want to pile on the pounds by, eating everything in sight and belonging to the clean plate club. When I'm full, I stop eating, and then if some of it is left over on my plate, then I will just save it for another meal. So that's how I get around the really expensive cost of food, and also trying not to buy too much food that I noticed that it keeps going up and up in price. Most of the things that I've bought lately are either the prices remained fairly stable within the last year, or the price hasn't gone up. Some of them, the price has actually come down a little bit. So, like on Walmart rollbacks and all these sales and things. So buying food that I know I like works real well for me, rather than always trying new things. Not that I never ever buy anything new, but I pretty much try to stick with the tried and true things that I buy all the time. And I buy foods that I can mix and match for the most part. And I do buy a few convenience foods. I like the Stouffer's vegetable lasagna. I try and keep a couple of those on hand. The Better Goods mushroom truffle pizza is excellent. It's as good as any restaurant quality pizza, at least for my taste buds. So I keep a couple of those in the freezer, and some ramen. I can always add some veggies to the ramen and an egg, so it'll be a nutritious meal. And it's not expensive. Now my daughter has chickens, so she still gives me eggs, which is very helpful. And the price of eggs has come down, at least here in my area. But it's nice to have fresh eggs. So food-wise, I think I've got it mastered in as far as saving as much as I can. But if I really found myself in a pinch and I had a lot of debt to pay off, I have a stash that I can make many meals from, with beans and canned vegetables, canned fruits, all sorts of canned things. I have things in my freezers that I can utilize so that I would not be wanting for any food. And the same, if my family got into trouble, I would, of course, give them food. So, yeah, I planned ahead years ago. This isn't anything new, and I've got a little system going that when I use up something, like a can of beans, then I'll buy 1 or 2 more cans of beans and replace them. But I'm not building up my stash anymore. I mean, if there's a sale, like Drug Mart has a sale on pasta, 5 for $5, and also they have other things on sale. So I'll go ahead and buy 5 boxes of pasta and just stock up on things like that, because pasta is something that I can always use. Now, my favorite pasta that I really like to stock up on the most is elbow macaroni, because it's very versatile. You can make a lot of things out of it. It cooks quickly for a quick meal. So that's the pasta that I like to stock up on the most. But I do get other things too, like lasagna noodles or penne, rigatoni, whatever. So anyway, yeah, I'm on my way to my mom's. We're going to go to the bank, and then if she needs anything from the store, we'll stop there on the way back. It's nice that it's all right around her house, so I don't have to drive real far once I get to my mom's. Now, it takes me about a half an hour to get to my mom's. She's about 10 miles from me, but with the traffic and everything, it takes me about a half an hour to get there. But once I get to her house, everything is within 5 minutes driving. And just like at my house, everything is very close to my house within a 5-mile radius. So that way I can save on gasoline and I don't have to spend that much on gas. So those are some of the ways that I try to save money. Clothes, of course. I don't buy much in the way of clothes anymore. But if I do, I buy things that are not expensive. Whether that's Walmart's end of season things, or sometimes Costco has coupons or money off on their clothes. So I'll pick up a flannel shirt or a pair of pants or whatever I need. But I don't haul clothes anymore like I used to. Oh my gosh, I used to buy a lot of clothes. But now, especially that I don't work anymore and I stay home a lot, the only places I go are like I said, out to breakfast with friends, or I go to my mom's, or I hang out with my daughter, really those are the only places I go. I don't need work clothes anymore. I don't date, so I don't need date clothes. I got rid of a lot of that stuff. And so, yeah. So, trying to downsize, make sense of everything. This year I spent the most on house repairs, and I spent a lot on house repairs. It needed to be done. It wasn't anything that was like an option. So I spent a lot on that, and I also spent a lot on my garden this year, getting it set up for future me so that it's easier for me to plant what I need and or what I want, and just not have to redo everything every year. And in the spring, I'll just add some compost to the beds, and the compost is fairly cheap. I also have my own compost out there that I'll add some, But if you buy the compost from Walmart, it's like $2.50 a bag. I added some of that this year, and rather than buying a lot of potting soil in the spring, I'm just going to go ahead and put compost in my city picker boxes. So anyway, that is the plan and how I try to save money as a single person on Social Security. I do have some other income besides the Social Security, but it's not much. I mean, my income is, around $2,000 a month. So, and I know that's a lot to some people that only live on Social Security, but I did try and think ahead when I was younger and worked and saved up money. So now, even though, I'm not getting $4,000 or $5,000 a month, I can live on the money that I get. And then plus that, I've got the side gig with YouTube. But I'll tell you what, YouTube has gotten not so good when it comes to the money. The whole time I've been on YouTube, the most I've ever made on YouTube was $1,000 in 1 month. But YouTube has cut way back on their payments. So now I average $200-300 a month from YouTube, which is pretty much my food money or fun money or whatever. So it's nothing to write home about. But yeah, YouTube has really gotten cheap and cut back on what they pay the YouTube people. And I know a lot of YouTube people just packed it in, they figured it wasn't worth it. Because, it's work doing a video. But finding a little side gig as a senior, if you're good at knitting and crocheting, you can do that and sell some of your things. Go to local art shows, sell some of your stuff, especially if you're crafty. If I had to, I could start making jewelry again and painting and going to craft shows and maybe selling some things. So I'm always trying to think of things. When I was younger, I used to do hair at home. I didn't, get rich by doing that, but I had friends over the years. Some of them I did for 30 years, and they would come to the home with their whole families. So I used to get a little extra pocket money that way. And also, being a hairdresser, I got tips. So, and then for a while, I did the hair and the nursing. And the nursing was my second career. And I did that for 20 years. And I did the hairdressing for 30 years. So, I've paid my dues. And now I figure it's nice that I can have my retirement, and I didn't want to wait and keep working. And so many people retire and then they drop dead, so I didn't want to be that person. So I retired as soon as I could, even though I probably could have gotten, I know I could have gotten more money had I worked longer, but I'm good. I'm okay. It's just that I can't buy everything and anything that I want anymore. I have to be very frugal with my money and buy things that I can actually afford instead of buying things that I want but I can't afford. And honestly, there's really nothing that I don't have that I've wanted. I don't need a Rolex watch or Gucci clothes and stuff like that. So it's all good. So if you're younger and you're watching my videos, try and save save up as much money as you can. I always contributed 15% of my income to 401k, and so that helped. And then I did a few investments, and that helped. So I'm okay. I'm fine. So all right, I'm almost to my mom's, and really, I got a Walmart order in. Not a super big one. I think it's like $57. So that will be coming tonight, but I'll show you that tomorrow, what I got. And yeah, so all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.